Alright, so I already did the brakes on the one side. Now, the issue with this is it has a bad wheel bearing on the left front wheel here, so I'm going to be working on that right now. So I got a new wheel bearing here. It's the whole hub assembly, so you don't have to mess around with putting a bearing in and all that crap. And they're pretty cheap, so it's not, you know, $100 gets you one of them. Hub assembly. You know, it comes with new studs and everything. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is, once you get all the brake assembly off, like in my previous video, now you're down to the hub. Now there's 3 bolts back here holding the hub here assembly to the spindle here, the structure, right? So there's one down here, one in the middle, and one over here, totaling 3. And then you have your main hub bolt in the center. So you should have 3 bolts like that and 1 nut like that. Alright, so this can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So I got this puller on here where I can push the spindle back just a little bit, but basically what you're trying to do is, these areas here are usually all corroded and everything's stuck pretty good, so you have to kind of bang away at it and maybe get it heated up. Probably gonna have to heat it up and just kind of work at it, work all around the corners where all the bolts were, right? And you can kind of see here, so that's this thing here with the bolts went through, so you're pulling this part off, this part, and the spindle which goes down the center. So you just got to kind of work at it, just kind of hit it with a hammer, you know, work at it, hit the spots here, but be careful not to hit the other spot. Alright, so the hub has been cracked. You can see the gap right there. I'm just going to take the puller off and should give another couple little whacks and then a pull and it should come right off. Alright, so the hub assembly's off. So there's the old one, and there's a washer in the middle, and there's also a steel gasket that goes from there to there. So there's the old, there's the new. So basically you just want to clean up all this, clean up the threads, clean up the spline, try to clean up this area here too, clean up all this, clean up the steel gasket in between, and put grease it pretty good, and put it back together. Alright, so we got grease on there, we got our gasket there, right? Now this, gotta need 2 hands here. Alright, so we got the new hub assembly on here. Now we just had to reattach those 3 bolts from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3. So I've got them started, and now I'm just going to tighten them up. And you just kind of want to do it evenly, and you want to make sure that this gasket here has this little lip, so you want to make sure that's out of the way and everything's flush. Alright, so we got the 3 bolts tightened up. Now we're going to put this washer back on. Goes right in there. And then we take our nut here and just put her back on. Alright, so we got the new hub assembly all together. Now we're going to put the new disc on and new brake pads. Alright, so we got the new hub on. Nice and shiny. New hub. New rotors, new pads. Alright, so we got her off the jack. You can see that nice new shiny hub sticking through there. Taking her for a nice test drive, and everything feels really good.